Okay. What is going on, everyone? Happy Monday. Welcome back to our Monday night online show, the Stay at Home Open Mic. Once again, if you're returning, we love having you back. Or if this is your first time tuning in, hey, we're happy to have you. Hopefully, you can join us. We're here every single Monday online in this little corner of the digital world of the internet on our YouTube channel. And it is an open mic. So it's a digital open mic presented by the Barbed Wire Open Mic series based in El Paso, Texas. But because of the magic of the internet and a lot of this technology, we're going to be able to connect with people from all over the country and all over the world. This is an open mic for writers, musicians, poets, streamers, thinkers. So if you guys want to sign up and share some of your original poetry, original prose, or even covers, little sections of prose from someone that you're reading right now, or a cover poem, or even if you're a musician want to sing your own original music or the cover songs, then we welcome it all. All you have to do is sign up. Like any other open mic, all you have to do is sign up. And the way you see that is in the description of this video. In the description, you'll find a lot of other helpful things, links to our calendar, so you can keep up with everything we have going on week to week. We have a minimum of 3 events per week now. I'm realizing every Monday we're online, and every Tuesday and every Wednesday we do have physical in-person events in El Paso. And then every now and then we'll have something on a Thursday. Pretty much one Thursday out of the week, we're on the east side, and then the last Thursday of the month, we're at Old Sheepdog Brewery. So be on the lookout for that in 2 weeks. But like I said, it's a lot of events. There's a lot of stuff going on, and so you can actually we have a Google Calendar that you can subscribe to. If not, you can just follow us on social media. We post about every event. Once again, this week, lots going on. Tuesday, we will be at Rosewood for our Verse and Harmony open mic. And the Verse and Harmony open mic is an open mic specifically for musicians, singer-songwriters, and writers. So, if that's you, if you fall into that category, come through. It's a nice little loungy spot downtown. I know a lot of people will officially be done with like final exams and the semester, so come celebrate. If you worked hard all semester, come hang out a little bit. The sign up starts at 8 p.m. Show starts a little bit after 9 p.m. We're right there on San Antonio Street where there's a lot of cool stuff going on. You have the legendary Tap Bar and Restaurant. Check out their famous nachos before the show and walk over a couple businesses over and sign up for the open mic. Wednesday, we have another edition of our Writers Night at Proof and Press. This will be, I believe, volume 6. No, volume 7. Sorry, volume 7 of our Writers Night. And for that one, that is at Proof and Press over there, right by UTEP, kind of in the Kern Place area. That one starts with a writing workshop. So if you want to work a little bit on your craft, if you want to go and write like maybe a little something new, or bring a piece that you want to have people like respond to, we workshop it in the sense that Candice does such a great job of leading the Liz Lerman method, I guess, of evaluation, where we kind of gather thoughts, and it's a cool thing. It feels like a talk show sometimes because we have mics going around and people offering feedback. It's fun. It's enlightening. And at 9 is the open mic. All right. Other than that, my name is Richie. I'll be your host. We do have a pretty full list, so I won't try and talk too much in between performers. What else? But like any other open mic, this is a platform where we definitely want you guys to express yourselves, so have at it, whether you just need to like let it out or just find some peace somewhere, then this is a place to do it here on a Monday night. We do encourage you guys to, as always, support one another. So if you're tuning in for the first time, definitely go and follow the performers. If you really like what you heard, what you saw, a lot of people have their own social media, chat books, YouTube channels where they do their craft. Uh, Sometimes it's free to support. It's free to share stuff, right, with other people and it gets it out there. Anyway, all right, let's go ahead and yeah, the other last thing. So for those of you who are watching, let us know you're here. Say hello in the chat, hang out with us in the chat. It's something that I really appreciate, and I know a lot of other people do as well. A lot of people who are here today and will be performing or already hanging out in the chat. For example, we have Sandy, we have Halebrook, we have Ed. Every single person I see in the live chat is also here in the Zoom room with us and will be performing today. So that's super fun. But yeah, say hello, let us know you're here. Um, all right, cool. With that said, let's go ahead and continue. Let me go ahead and kick things off. We have ah, Yes, we missed him last week. A rare absence, but he was appreciating one of the best things in the world, live music, so can't really fault him for that. So without further ado, we're gonna kick things off in Denver, Colorado with Michael Sindler. All right, when you're ready, Mike, go and take it away. Hey.
Yeah. Hey, everybody. Great to be here. Yeah, great to be back, even though I was having an incredible time. Still miss y'all just a little bit, but still miss y'all. But yeah, it's there's nothing like seeing the moon rise at Red Rocks, I tell you what, and especially with the great concerts. But before I get into anything else, go ahead and put up lighthouseriders.org and remind y'all that Lit Fest is coming up soon, so go to that and look at all the things that are available virtually or come to Denver. And there are just some amazing things from some amazing instructors. I'm so excited, except I have to be at a class at 9 o'clock in the morning, 5 days a week, which is going to suck. But that being said, um, I'm going to read a couple of things I wrote this week, or well, last week, I guess by now. And for some reason, they both start with the word even. The titles do. This first one, I don't usually do any kind of warnings, but this is a little tough as far as women's issues, things that women have to go through. It's called Even More Today. It used to be legal for a man to batter his wife. It used to be legal for him to rape her. Even today, the police might look the other way or claim not to believe her. It used to be illegal to abort a non-viable fetus. It used to be more important than the mother's life. And once again today, 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 it is a woman's legal obligation to die for a man's wish to control her body, batter, rape, kill, claiming God's will. What used to be was wrong, and it is even more wrong. Legal, but not moral today. Might not be my most poetic, but you get my meaning. And this one is sort of going back to my days as an art dealer. It's called Even in Reproduction for Jack and Steph. It is a great painting, even in reproduction. Humble poster holds soul of a lost master. Lovingly, I help find subtle and affordable framing to complement mass-produced miracle. Okay, it was in fact picked in part to match a pillow, but it will be the focus of continued contemplation. It will gently touch a heart, last thing at night, first thing in morning, beautiful when life is not. It is my honor to help put art and admirer together, knowing my humble part will daily reproduce delight. And that is why I like doing that job so much. I'll do this one called Hurts Less Than Heartbreak. And I think there are definitely people here who can relate. In retrospect, I find chronic pain hurts less than heartbreak. It's harrowing enough to walk, feet and knees scream unwilling, but constant looking backward makes the simplest path a maze. There is future over my shoulder, insisting it belongs to momentum, no respect for introspective instant, reflection mirroring perfect portrait, tomorrow's turned head distraction, twisting corkscrew between worlds, Crash complicates retro perspective. Current chronic causation. Traumatic numbness is not lack of sensation, not in body nor in measured memory. And just gonna do one more just from when a certain horrible person went to a funeral he shouldn't have been at. It's called Blue Frog. Blue frog in Black Lake. Ripples disturb the surface. Wait for it to croak. Okay, thank y'all.
All right. Thank you, Mike. As always, appreciate that. Was a short and sweet set there this time around. Okay, and thank you for the
Actually,
pieces. Oh,
actually,
what's up?
if I
Okay,
could, yeah, if I could go ahead and put on the hat because I forgot to do
there you
that.
go.
And
Yeah, that's what was missing.
yeah, yeah. Um, and this one is just I went to my nibblings graduation from high school, which was wonderful. Um, and the superintendent of schools uh recited this from memory, and I was very impressed. So I figured I would do this old chestnut, and it's If by Rudyard Kipling. If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you, if you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowances for their doubting too, if you can wait and not be tired by waiting or being lied about, don't deal in lies, or being hated, don't give way to hating. And yet, don't look too good nor talk too wise. If you can dream and not make dreams your master, if you can think and not make thoughts your aim, if you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two impostors just the same, if you can bear to hear the truth you've spoken twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools, or watch the things you gave your life to broken and stoop and build 'em up with worn out tools, if you can make one heap of all your winnings and risk it in one turn of pitch and toss and lose and start again at your beginnings and never breathe a word about your loss, if you can force your heart and nerve and sinew to serve your turn long after they are gone, and so hold on when there is nothing in you except the will which says to them, hold on, if you can talk with crowds and keep your virtue, or walk with kings nor lose the common touch, if neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you, if all men count you, but none too much, if you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run, yours is the earth and everything that's in it. And, which is more, you'll be a man, my son. So there's something in those old things. Thank you.
All right, cool. Appreciate that. That was the secret second set when you pulled back. Wait, hold on, I'm not done yet. Hold on. Give me the mic back. No, that's cool. Thank you, Mike Sandler. Definitely check out Lighthouse Riders. Okay, we're gonna come back to actually, joining us 3,000 miles from the birthplace of the Panama Hat. That's the fact today. We've got David Latif next up on the mic. David, when you're ready, take it away.
Awesome. Yeah. Yeah. Fun fact: Panama hats, not from Panama, from Ecuador. Um, I want to kind of. This is a poem that I wrote. Living nearby UTEP, we watched a. Well, we didn't see. We have to deal with the traffic of graduation right by UTEP, and it's one of those where I felt like it was important to write a poem for those who weren't in attendance, myself included. This is called an anti-graduation poem. College was a war of attrition. We all knew it. Watched the pre-med students become less and less enthusiastic with each semester, got used to hearing the news or seeing the boxes as another one left the dorms. Those of us who weren't good enough, usually through some disability, got burned away the chaff of academia. It's why I could pay you $20 for every disabled doctor you have and know that my wallet would be full. Some of us failed in worse ways than others. I learned to fear the phrase, "Do you remember that one guy?" Because academia was just abuse that we paid for, and some of us couldn't carry that weight. I had to be rescued in my 6th year by my brother who flew down from Colorado to save my life. So here's a memorial to us who never got to wear that cap and gown. I see you. I remember you. His next one is called Diary of a Wimpy Kid, but he's trans and has a cigarette hanging from his lips. I remember hearing the phrase, "it gets better," so damn often. I really want to believe that it's true, the same way I tried to keep believing in Jesus after I knew it was a lie, but at this point, I really don't know if it does get better. I wanted to believe in happy endings for everyone, but there's a point where you realize not everyone gets one. Almost no one gets one. So when you're a sad ass kid, only for it to go downhill from there. But I was nostalgic for 3rd grade in 7th grade. I feel like my happiest moment passed me by the same way affordable housing did. If it got better, I wouldn't have panic attacks anytime I have to interact with anyone remotely considered normal. If it got better, I'd be incredibly clear that I'm incredibly queer. I'd have I'd have a proper coming out rather than putting they them shit on everything I own and hoping people will notice. I'd have the bravery to correct people when they say he and him and his, words that feel like rusty nails dragging on my soul. But I am afraid, and partially for good reason, because judgment can be lethal. Not always, but like Trans Day of Remembrance exists for a reason, especially now. And the closet door can function as a shield, at least a little bit. A thin tower shield that your landlord bought on a budget. I mean, it may not be able to stop bullets or even fists, but it might slow them down a little bit. So when you say it gets better, and I peek outside the closet door to see how better has been trending in the negative direction, well, forgive me if, like Thomas, I have some doubts. This next one's about drugs. It's called dexmethylphenidate XR. The little blue pill. Not that little blue pill. This little blue pill. My little blue pill. Dexmethylphenidate XR. Courage in a capsule. Chemical resuscitation device. Saved my life. Not as saved as many others would have liked, but every morning this minuscule miracle becomes a chemical Christ resurrecting my body from the couch and granting me a life that once felt like a fantasy. I'm going to do 2 more, use up all of my time. This one is one of my favorites. It's called An Ode to Every Shittily Modified Car in El Paso. Every Civic with a fake red badge, every Integra that's barely holding itself together, every front-wheel drive economy car with a big wing bolted to the trunk lid. I love you. More than any Ferrari or Porsche I see on the west side, I love your battle damage and body filler. I love the big bore tube at the end of your exhaust that doesn't muffle shit, or missing catalytic converter that roars, "I am a race car." The same way I tell people that I'm a poet, both trying so hard to be something they said we aren't. You may not be on the track, I may be self-published, but we know what we are. I am a race car. You are a poet. This last one, I think I'm going to title it Dear Friend. Dear friend, I hope you're better. I hope you're in a better place geographically, metaphorically. I hope you did the things that I wanted to do, emptied the box full of projects, finished them all, and filled it with new ones. I hope none of our friends died, and if they did, I hope that you're still alive to carry their stories. I hope that things get better somehow. I hope you're far more trans than I am now, leagues away from the closet door, unneeding of its shelter. I hope that you're at home, regardless of where you are. I hope you got better. Thank you. You can find my poetry at substack.com/at poetic universal friend. I have some poetry from this past Saturday's wonderful workshop on Memorial Day that will be posted on my Substack on Memorial Day because I can make it look like I'm well organized and put together. But yeah, Richie, thank you so much for doing this. Thank you to all the rest of you here. You make this my Monday something that I look forward to. So thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for that, David, for your words, both in the poems and right now too at the end. Yeah, follow Substack. I'm loving Substack. It's just a fun way to keep up with people's writing and to kind of get the email alerts. There's something too, like when you say the names of the titles, like, oh, I know this one. It's like, I immediately like tune in, like, oh, I saw this one. I can't wait to hear him read it. Read that, I hear them read it. So yeah, the Substack, if you guys haven't tried that yet, it's super fun. I'm gonna be doing more stuff. I just needed a small break from doing the 30 for 30 because publishing a whole post and gathering every day was that was a task that I put upon myself. But it was fun. It's still there. If you guys want to check our BWOMS Substack as well, check it out. 30 days. I think I'm gonna compile them in one post, just for easier access, by the way, or at least hyperlinks. Okay, so once again, if you're just tuning in, this is our online open mic. We do this every Monday here on YouTube Live on our YouTube channel. If you haven't had a chance to do so, definitely encourage you guys to like, comment, subscribe, all those things that push this video out into the algorithm. And we're gonna stick around, and a lot of our performers are in El Paso, but like I mentioned at the top of the show, people from all over the country and all over the world. But right now, we're going to stick around in El Paso. Someone who has been doing it and holding down the scene in El Paso for a while now. It's Robin Schofield. Hey, Robin.
Hey Richie. Hey everybody. Happy Monday. I'm gonna read some poems kind of in honor of May being Mental Health Awareness Month. And the first one is for Edward Einstein, Einstein's son, who lived from 1910 to 1965. And just a little background, he was diagnosed, I believe, when he was 18 or 20 as schizophrenic, and he was put in an institution in Switzerland. There, and also a little backstory, doesn't really have to do with the poem, but Einstein went to see him one year, and Einstein was not neurotypical. He may have been the most amazing neurodiverse person of all time, but he didn't do emotions very well. Anyway, Edward told him that he hated him and never to come again, and so he didn't. So he's often raked over the coals for not going to see Edward, but he kept writing him letters. So this is called Relativity. Two clocks on different floors wring their hands, grinding down the little pawns of particles. He keeps different time and plays dice inside his atypical mind. His famous father is so appalled when Edward tells him that he hates him. Einstein never visits him again at Bergoletzli. He was just 22. His doppelganger stays young as he orbits at the speed of light, a special theory needed. Edward flees on a comet wearing a blue nimbus. He slices too close to the sun, falling past fallen. His spooky entanglements and electroshock therapy make him move past pianos he might have played. He floats toward his room as if there's no gravity. Okay, and then these next two are a little bit personal. This one's about me. bipolar in relation to the globe. The brain inhabits the Arctic Circle, where polar bears prowl for seals. Along the Tropic of Cancer, the torso changes to a yellow forest covered in kudzu. Toward the liver, jungles spread over the far south. Primitive and prevailing winds circle. Fortune waits and refusal. Along the Tropic of Capricorn, to those unlucky pirates in love with the trade winds of La Nina, who will be man enough to venture into the limbs hung with choking vines over mighty rivers stirred by piranhas? Hands stoke the fire near the thatched huts against the damp of jaguar night. Down the dry mountains, serrated as jawbones, legs cover ground, and feet plunge to Cape Horn through penguin shores to oceans of ice. And then this one is personal in that it's about my nephew, but also it's about another person who was said to be, I forgot what they said about her, whether she was schizoaffective or bipolar 1 or just what. Fall calendar. The leaves crawl down the street like spiders. The sun burns low in the sky, going out like a spark from a campfire. I wax and wane like one of my nephew's cigarettes. Now, Jeremy's been in a fire set by a strange, enraged woman, no one he knew. He fell dead from the fumes, his body burned beyond naming. I walk in a circle till the light is gone. My doctor thinks I'm not punctual. I grieve it's not still September, October gone and taken a bite out of the days. News from South Texas after the November floods. So many tiny blue and yellow butterflies that if you stand in any one place too long, you suffocate. So, for my cover poem, I was going to read something by Robert Lowell, but then I'm taking this class online about this new translation of Rumi, which is called Water by Haleh Liza Ghaffori. And she's a uh, Persian herself, or her parents are Persian, or anyway, she's a native, pretty much a native speaker of Persian, and has been translating Rumi. And so she was talking about Rumi and the mind and how he uses the veil to be an aspect of the mind. So I thought I would read this one. You show your face, your flushed face, and stones spin with joy. Once again, for the sake of awestruck lovers, lift the veil from your face. Speak out loud, so learning and logic lose their way, so men of reason shatter their culture of unreasonable reason. So water reflecting you becomes the jewel, so fire retires from war. When I see your beauty, when I see your virtue, I don't need those 2 or 3 hanging lanterns. I don't need the moon. The old rusty heavens are no mirror for your face. You breathe in, you exhale, and from the tied up, tight-fisted world, a new world is born. Venus, you long for the eyes of Mars to gaze upon you? Oh, come on, play your harp, sing your song. Okay, that's my set for tonight. Everybody have a happy Monday, and if you're not busy on Saturday afternoons, drop by Tumblewords. We always have a great time there, no matter who's doing the presenting. We're taking the week off next week though for Memorial Day, and then we'll be back on the 31st with Rachel Cachete. Is that right? Yes.
Yeah.
And they are wonderful. So we're looking forward to that. Okay, back to you, Richie.
Awesome. Thank you, Robin. Appreciate that. Yeah. If you guys are looking to do some generative writing, definitely check out Tumblr Words. Get the pen moving, something. Get something on there. Get something on the page. A lot of people have fun with it. Okay, so let's continue with the list. We're actually going to go ahead and go to South Euclid, Ohio for our next performer. We have Doc Jennings. So, Doc, when you're ready, let me go. Let me find your dragonfly. There you are. All right, when you're ready, go ahead and take it away.
I only have two poems tonight, and they are more or less juxtaposition to each other. The fragrance of life. Traversing pathways of time, we are immersed in the fragrance of life. We luxuriate in its sensuous and sensual flavors. It sings to us in wordless songs of intimacy and longing. We see all the myriad shapes and colors of ecstasy, and we find nirvana. This is Firefly Green. In the solace of the stars lie remnants of my heart, tossed, fractured, and torn by the maelstrom of life. Each fragment in an ancient dance, the pavan for lost love. Each fragment sighing the lamentations of Saudade and the canticle of her life. Drifting through timeless dark, I stravage the unknown, seeking healing and kuch, kinsukuroi and love, home and peace, seeking the feng shui of life, seeking a distant firefly dream of being and belonging. Thank you.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, Doc. Any announcements, things going on this week you want to promote online or?
Nothing going on this week, but last Friday, just sort of out of a clear blue, I was named, for the third time, I've been named a poet laureate, this time of the synagogue to which I go on Fridays online.
Well, all right, man. That you had such a drawn out sigh before you announced that. Too much on your plate.
It just, I almost feel like I'm being overburdened with laureateships.
Yeah, you're wearing them as a well, congratulations, Doc. Appreciate that's cool
Thank
stuff.
you.
All right. Yeah, we got a bunch of laureates in the house too, by the way. I don't mention it every single time, but in case you did not know, including some beat poet laureates like Denver, like Michael in Denver. Um And yeah, how's everyone doing? Hey, say hello in the chat. If you guys are tuning in right now, how you guys doing? Happy Monday. Let us know how you're feeling, how you doing. If you're listening from any particular part of the world, I know a lot of people are in El Paso, but like I said, this is global. So if you're listening from anywhere else, let us know. That's always a fun thing to know and find out. Speaking of what we're gonna go come back to El Paso for our next performer, and as always, it's a treat to get to hear him read in person when we do our Rally Point Coffee on the East Side. Um, and I took some nice photos that I need to send you, by the way. But coming to you with some more awesome poetry, we have Ed Gonzalez. All right, when you're ready, go and take it away.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Happy Monday. Just want to thank BWOMS and Richie. As was said earlier, my Mondays are so much better with BWOMS. I know they've been awesome for me. I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I'm gonna buck the system as I generally will do. I'm gonna start with my cover, and this one is actually for one of the many books that I'm reading at this moment, from Daniel Romo, one of my favorite books. This one's entitled "Down Here on the Ground" after Wes Montgomery. Cue the static that rubs like nerves against the desired grain. Note how the vinyl crackles like feeding notes to the fire. Though each authentic sacrifice can be told solely from the gravity of its own ashes, every sound is wrapped in a plea and a prayer. Regardless of the plight, the 11th commandment in essence states that which isn't audible must be regarded as pliable to the touch. If rhythm were to replicate itself, it would be to the tune of improvisational hopscotch on a loop. So many anxious toes, so little time for tapping. There is not enough jazz to capture the rhapsody of summer, to frame the fragrance of wilting lilies, to fade out like a grieving sunset in search of the next morning. Daniel Romo, if you don't got it, gotta get it. Okay, and I have a few of my own. I'm gonna ditch my hat. This one, of course, is by the before mentioned Tumblewords. I want to thank Bill. That was an amazing Tumblewords, and I have so many pieces, not just the ones written during then, but the ones that I wrote after. Brought me back. It was such a ride. If I was going to thank Bill for anything, I want to thank him for the ride that I was on. This one's entitled Memorial Experience. We would hold our thoughts for the family, as my mother did not drive, and things had to be coordinated. It began with acquiring supplies, then food prep for my mother's famous potato salad. Her and our contribution to our yearly Memorial Day feasting. Each of my aunts would bring us certain items to the gathering. My Aunt Hilda, who would supply the steaks, and my Aunt Annie would bring the sides. And my favorite Aunt Tommy would make her famous tapioca pudding. It was a significant event for our extended family, as every adult was involved in the military, and my dad and all my uncles and on both sides were in theater. And my aunts either welded, operated phones, or performed custodial duties. So a good time for the family to exchange information and the family's goings on, and to talk shit about those who did not attend. We all contributed to the preparation and assembly of the foodstuffs as the men were busy BSing and drinking their troubles away. And generally after food, the men fell asleep. In my Aunt Hilda's hillside home, there's lots of places to crash. About that time, us kids would circle around the tapioca and make fun of how drunk each of the elders were. I realize how important those gatherings were for me now. I make sure to fly my good flag on that day, as opposed to my regular flag, which was thready and a lot less shiny. Okay, and let's see. This is an older piece. I actually edited it was editing it right up to the point where I was reading. I read this at Rally Point. It's lucid, you see. Just returned from a late night run under the full moon, kicked off my Sauconys, put on the mocha pot, and crafted an espresso drowned in oat milk and ice. So good. After a quick rinse, basketball shorts and a big t-shirt, off to bed, and gnawed on a couple of gummies. Eyes on fire, fan on full. All that remained was a fossilberry flop onto the bed. Not long before I drift into the conscious dreaming splashes in frequent event in my slumber. I battled large spiders, flew in the skies with old friends. I love me. I love it when old friends visit my dreams because they arrive with different hairdos and different clothes than they would normally wear. Sometimes it takes a while to notice them. And I smile. Hey, I'm glad you're here. It's great to see you. Know that it softens the blows that I hit myself with. Thank you for your visit. I hope to return the favor. Is there golf in the hereafter? I know it's silly. I was just curious. Life is a ride. Again, thanks for the smile. Peace and love. Okay, and for my last piece, I actually just wrote this today after vacuuming, which is strange. Why is it? My mindset is to keep busy. Well, at least that's what I tell myself. So I bring myself out my good vacuum, the one who wasn't punished by the dog's second coat. I didn't know that, as I have always had black labs, and the hair really wasn't a problem. Well, until my Louis crossed the rainbow bridge, as they say. For now, he lives in my thoughts, occasionally out of the corner of my eye as a sweeping shadow. Now finally found a plug that I could reach without crawling around on the ground floor, as it's not easy to take off as it was to land. Starting to make some progress when I find a tuft underneath the bed near the Davenport. Hasn't done very much heavy cleaning. Well, at least I used to do this every cleaning Sunday, watering and ending with watering and truck maintenance. Reaching and pulling the tufts of her hair, I caught a whiff of that dog smell that was out when she was out and hot, and came back in pungently. Why is it so tough to get through an animal's passing? She was my daughter's dog, and I would say to her, but her and I lived together here for months, just her and I. And I wonder, do they think about us? I know I think about her. Travel well, Chiba. It's so arrogant to think that we are any different from us. They are very different from us human types. But most likely uh, when I join her, she can speak and tell me why that is. She never spoke the human language, probably because she was there to teach us, and they are a much more advanced breed of animal. Okay, I want to end it with the thanks Bill Sparks for the ride on Tumblewords. Thanks BWOM, Richie, and I want to thank Kit too, the master backup, because he's always there to pick up. And I want to thank the Monday regulars who inspire me every single week. I also want a quick shout out to the El Paso Poetry Workshop group. We're on Facebook. And now I want to listen to y'all's amazing work. Thank you very much. I have nothing but gratitude for y'all.
Oh, same, same. Thank you so much, Ed, for sharing those pieces there. Yeah, very true at the end there. Okay, so let's keep this thing going. We're actually gonna do some more traveling. We're gonna go visit South Carolina, where we have Swaggy in the house. Let me get you here on the spotlight. Let's see where. Yay! All right, you're here. What's going on, man? When you're ready, go ahead and take it away.
Finally. Thank you, Rich. Been wanting to share for the longest. Uh, it's good to see everybody. Let me go ahead and get to the poetry shit. See if I can pull this up here. Okay, so this is called Amateur from Dr. Seuss to Confucius. As a newbie, we are unaware. We go through life as if we care, incompetent, inept, go here or there, thinking that we know it all. Inevitably comes the fall. Then we slowly realize as it begins, the end of our demise, we didn't compromise. However, it's more than just a fall. We thought we were impervious, 10 feet tall. The older we get, the more we realize the ignorant follies of the less wise. Pride, pride before the fall comes towards us all. We paid no mind to the warning's call. Greed, lust, a wild ride, envy, wrath, look inside, gluttony, sloth, our guilty pride. Don't let this list be your guide. It's okay not to know everything. It's okay to be a teen in between. It's okay to misread a panic scene. It's okay to admit you're wrong. Do the dance, sing the song. Don't act wise, apologize, pretending you know it all. Inevitably, the jig is up. Never ready for the call. Will you learn the lesson of the fall, knowing you don't know anything at all? There is always a lesson to endure. It's okay not to be sure. We were all once an amateur. The difference between a young adult sprung on life and a middle-aged, disillusioned, lost soul is our experiences. The lessons learned when it's your turn to be on top, oblivious, ignorant, acceptance. There will be a time when you're not. It's not how high you climb. It's how you endure after the fall. Wisdom comes to us all. Will you ignore it or answer life's call? So that's that piece. And I have a brand new song which I'm dropping this week, but I'll share it with you guys next week. So hopefully there could be a way, where I can like share my screen and whatnot. But yeah, thanks.
Okay, cool, man. Yeah, we can do the tech check for that next time. Let's see. Yeah, because doing share screen and all that, gotta make sure it works. But okay, thank you, Swaggy. We're gonna go from Swaggy to Storm, who's hanging out in Greenfield, Massachusetts, and does People's Music Network. I couldn't remember the full name, but Storm, I'm glad you found your way back here as well. When you're ready, go and take it away.
People's Music Network for Songs of Freedom and Struggle. peoplesmusic.org. And we've got an event in the physical, which also has a Zoom component coming up Memorial Day weekend. Okay. As you can hear, I don't have my full voice. I'm dealing with pollen and crap for the first time in my life, and it's been going on for over 8 days now. So it has not been fun. So I'm just going to do sort of medium-sized amount and just go straight from one poem to the next because it sort of all fits as a piece. Qualifications of a scout. I have walked the shoals of madness and listened to the ocean's call within a siren shell. I have stood upon the needle's point and crossed the razor's edge, and though I hid a while inside most drunken bottles and smoke-caused dreams, I have emerged again to light, to breathe in pure air, to declare one can endure, to caution of the pitfalls of the journey, and God willing to guide you safely through. Tearing down the fences. Growing up, we were taught good fences make good neighbors and put all our energies into building fences. Stone was replaced by brick upon brick upon brick. Viewing our neighbors' work, ours never seemed as strong. We added reinforcements to show our caring, our love. Cement and iron were placed on top. Barbed wires were strung, then stretched to reach higher and higher. All was electrified. Long ago we forgot that the purpose of fences was to keep our animals out of each other's fields. Long ago we gave up having animals and fields. Still we believe the maxim. Now our children squeeze their arms between the metal slats and reach towards each other. Timidly their fingers touch. They can't quite clasp each other's hands. Saddened they pull back, each vowing that tomorrow they will begin to tear down the fences. Adrift, even Steve's hair in the granola is a true sign that another knows of my existence and cared enough to give me handfuls of homemade granola to eat while walking on through the rain to somewhere else, to start anew perhaps, or fail and fall down through San Francisco back to drifting down the road, that much smarter, that much more tired than before. Requiem for a lifestyle. Returning to this town, I discover the missing. It's the buildings that have closed, I notice, and the changes of the addresses and phone numbers. I am a stranger walking down these streets where once I stumbled. Those who have stayed have changed and grown, or seem just slightly tattered around the eyes. The person I meet, whom I really hope I'll see somewhere again, doesn't live here anymore. We are singing through the hard times, singing through the hard times, working for the fine times to come. We are singing through the hard times, singing through the hard times, working for the fine times to come. Sometimes our living gets so dark and lonesome, it seems like there's nothing we can do. So we reach out to each other and raise a song together and let our voices carry us through. We are singing through the hard times, singing through the hard times, working for the fine times to come. We are singing through the hard times, singing through the hard times, working for the fine times to come. And when the war clouds gather, it's so easy to get angry and just as hard not to be afraid. But you know in your own heart, no matter what happens, you just can't turn your back and walk away. We are singing through the hard times, singing through the hard times, working for the fine times to come. We are singing through the hard times, singing through the hard times, working for the fine times to come. So hand in hand together, we help each other carry the light of peace within us every day. If we can learn to live it, to walk and talk and give it, the world of peace won't be so far away. We are singing through the hard times, singing through the hard times, working for the fine times to come. We are singing through the hard times, singing through the hard times, working for the fine times to come. We are singing through the hard times, singing through the hard times, working for the fine times to come. We are singing through the hard times, singing through the hard times, working for the fine times to come. The poems are all mine. The song is by Utah Phillips. If you don't know who he is, I suggest you check him out. He was a very famous folk singer, and he was also a living folk song. Folk songs are about riding the rails, and he literally rode the rails. They're about hobos, and he was a hobos. They're about irascible people who drink a little bit too much at times, and that certainly was him too. They're about, political protest and standing up for social causes, and he was actually a living IWW wobbly industrial worker of the world. And a few days ago would have been his 90th birthday if he'd lived. Highly recommend you check him out. He was also a wonderful storyteller.
Very cool. Thanks for sharing all that. That's awesome. Thank you, Storm. And I'll
Yep.
forward your website there for people checking out online.
Yeah.
But thanks for sharing that. That was like a bonus
And
poem.
can you cut and paste what I put in?
Yes. Perfect. I will do that.
Great.
Cool. All right. Rocking a really cool hat. Before we started the show, we were all showing off our caps and our hats and our covers, I guess, so to speak. But that was cool. Thanks for I love that song. Love anything worker related. And like I said, I will copy and paste this here for you guys. Give me a second. But while we do that, I'm gonna go ahead and bring up our next performer. Joining us from Malaysia, we have Julian Matthews. Julian in the house. Glad you stuck around. Good to see you again. When you're ready, go and take it away.
Hi. Watermelon. Inside you is a red ocean. Outside a green zigzag of unenvious emotions. We see you where you are scarred by the sun. Yet you persisted by sheer thirst-trapping will, like a wondrous womb you bloom, your seeds hungry to perpetuate your lineage. Come hither, you beckoned, a buxom temptress, and we were sucked in and cracked you open. Your quenchy crunch mesmerizing, we were slobbery slakers, dribbling chin drippers. We even sweetened you, as if your sweetness alone was not enough. But you paid the price for this selfless sacrifice. We had our fill and never settled the bill. Your petite pips bore the indignity of spittle. A game perhaps you induced to pitch them like pocket rockets afar, and you taught them to swim, traverse through windy nethers to be expunged, booted, and flushed, a relentless quest to find fresh earth for your spunky progeny to root in. Always a generous giver, you kept us cool even in heat, like a regenerating Promethean liver, sliced to smile. You are our crimson cleanser, our summery pink of health restorer. We are forever entwined, both mostly water, made up of sugary juices of the divine, until we shuffle off these mortal rinds and return to the waters, the river, that sea of brine. One more. I can find it. Ah. This is called Swing Time. Still in draft. You push the swings, and their giggles ring out, carefree, uninhibited, tossing in the air like rag dolls. And for a moment, you remember the bratty child you were once. how you grated at your siblings and pined to be pushed higher, how that need dissipated over time, but settled in the corner of your gut, made you less of a man, but no less human. It still emerges now and then like a needy pimple begging to be fiddled, picked at, and popped to suit the niggle of unrealized expectations. Up and down you go, swinging in the wind, still yearning to be seen, a quid pro quo people pleaser, or perhaps just a wounded child inside this wounded man. These sturdy swings so far removed from the makeshift one you cobbled together in the garage with your siblings, an old tire, borrowed rope, and tied to a knotty frangipani branch. Thankfully, somehow, it never broke, and you never fell. You can hear the laughter still. Then the nieces call out, again, again, higher, higher, with fearless abandon. And you push harder, hoping they too will never fall. Thank you.
All right. As always, thank you, Julian. I love to get to read all of that stuff. Hashtag not poetry. But you can follow more from Julian on Linktree. I will make sure to copy and paste that for you guys in case you haven't had a chance to see that at any point yet or seen Julian for the first time. All right. So we're going to go ahead and come back to this region of the world, a little bit north of here. We're going to go to Las Cruces, where we have Halebrook going to share some poetry. It's got a really cool animation. I don't know if it will translate. Well, it might. Okay, so when you're ready, go ahead and take it away, Halebrook.
How's it going, everybody? I'm dealing with a breakup, but the good news is I got new shit. First
New
poem
shit.
titled Breakdown. Shattered pieces of a tender heart crumble from my trembling hand, falling in synchronicity with the hourglass's grains of sand. Sweet moments shared between two vibrant, shimmering souls full of hope, now sting like butterfly knives floating in my guts as I begin to mope. A shell of my former self seeking shelter from acidic rain, crying out into the void for solace from this all-consuming pain. As my skin drips away, my lungs are filled with venomous quips, and I exhale wildly, casting vocal spells from non-existing lips. It's all in vain, the air feels nothing and dances on nonchalantly, quite like her who retreated as clouds of doom circled all around me. Bones of an unbuilt house wither away as I reflect on what could have been, along with all the good deeds and warm words I should have used back then. I don't think there is anything good about this goodbye. No silver lining to be found near my heart's ashes where I lay to die. Next poem is titled Understood. I'm a lonely man who longs for a circle of smiling faces and a warm sense of belonging in cold, unfamiliar places. I try half the time, the other half is lost on people who don't care about what I exhaust. I pay the price of admission, but I'm barred from entry, remaining a detached stranger from all social assembly. I don't want to be ignored, I want to be understood, and cast away this lonely stone of a heart for good. I'm so tired of feeling like a castaway, a once hopeful traveler who's lost his way, following deceitful ley lines towards pseudo north, crying in the silent void about my woes and so forth. Next one is titled Yellow Brick Road. Reminiscing on my younger days when I was steadfast in my stubborn ways. The hanged man was the card I pulled in a village where the foolish ruled. Mind was divided in 1,000 strands, failing to come to grips with bound hands. If my heart weren't stone, would it burn away this heavy gloom? Would it fill this empty hunger? Would it help my higher self bloom? If my mind was one, could I be more than a man of 10? If it had order, would I find my purpose within, searching for something that could ignite this fearful soul of mine and take me to the yellow brick road that leads to the divine? Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Hillbrook. I kind of hesitated for a bit. I think I was being hypnotized there by your animation. Huge fan of the axolotl. It's a cool animation. I always forget to ask you about that when I see you in person. But as always, crazy pieces. Sorry about the breakup. That's always tough, but to create art of out of it is a gift in its own way, you know. So cliches. Sorry. But I always love hearing your voice. Um, it's epic, honestly. Okay, so what's going on, everyone? If you've been watching for a bit, this is our online open mic. We've had a lot of performers and we still have plenty to go. So if you're here, let us know. For example, I see Lex has joined us in the room. What's up, Lex? How's it going? Hello, hello. All right, we're gonna go ahead and keep the list moving along. And next up, we have we're gonna visit Vale Larkin in Pittsburgh, who's got some more short fiction. Looking forward to the rest. When you're ready, go ahead and take it away.
Thank you. Yep, I've got a short story here, or the last installment of one, and I'm going to try to finish it today, so hopefully I'll be under time. Little quick synopsis of what we've done so far, and then I'll just go straight in. There once was a village where an energy called the Wick inspired many to the arts and other creative pursuits. One day, a man constructed a kind of doll that manifested the ideas of the villagers in pictures on its chest. The man called it the Echo Child and thought it might be useful for relieving artist's block and such. But he always said that it should not be too much relied upon. After a while, though, the villagers stopped making art, nurturing, growing things, and dancing. One day in the future, a stranger came to the village. When they noticed a steady stream of people heading down a particular street, they followed. The stranger found a ramshackle workshop with a man inside, seemingly enthralled to the Echo Child. It was seated on a table, but still completely inert. The stranger tried to intervene as the man and the gathered crowd outside began to howl and attack, and in desperation, they smashed a brass pot down onto the Echo Child's mechanical head. It was a year or two, but surely no longer, that found a girl walking down the dollmaker's lane. She was too young to be out on her own. Almost anyone who saw her would understand, though, with her dingy sack dress, broken-sided shoes, and bruised arms. Child-bound, they would say of her parents if they saw them, gone to the doll. Odd names for parents who so seldom saw their own offspring, though her father had repeated them too, eager for absolution. In the time since the Echo Child died, he and her mother had sat mostly silent, and the girl had heard the sloshing of bottles and little else from them. These phrases, though, these schoolyard names, had become commonplace here in the village, and language always lingers, like the wick. The girl paused, then looked about furtively. She jogged a bit in place, as if winding herself up for something, and then she bounded across a rattled patch of land with a fairly clear dirt track through its remnant garden. She ignored the shell of a house that teetered in the center of the lot. Directly in her path was a patch where all was riotous, sheets of tar paper siding, timber studs, and old planks. A rusted metal table with 2 legs off its left side, stuck up through the overgrowth and fragments. The girl was careful with her battered shoes, picking her way in dainty steps around tin shards and penny nails. Every so often she would pause, bend, poke, and prod with a stick she had somewhere picked up, and a bit more rarely she would fish some bit from the ground and stow it in a bag she wore slung across her chest. Some time later, she tiptoed back through the remains of the workshop, padded down the path and back to where the lane meandered. She made 3 more visits that day. 2 were like the dollmaker's lot, each with its crumbling structures and trove of finds. The bag she wore was lumpy and promising. She stopped once more in an empty field, choked with weeds, which she petted like friendly goats as she passed, and she neatly clipped a few fronds. Back in her parents' house, through the minefield of the main living area and ducking into her room, she carefully closed the door and then settled on a raggedy bed in the corner. Piece by piece, she unpacked her bag on the blanket and began to sort her trove. The room was small, with a dingy window. A series of battered doorknobs hung on wires from its frame, like piano keys. She was constructing a sculpture of gears and old burlap on a wooden crate in the corner. An ambitiously heavy, finger-woven rope draped the top of the walls, plaited of string and leather thongs, flashes of copper scrap in the seams, and all woven end to end in a ring. Painted over 2 entire walls was a panorama view, mostly in sepia. She had carefully daubed water tinted with some roots a teacher had told them about. The town square was depicted in broad, inexpert, but still recognizable strokes. Intersecting charcoal slashes sketched passers-by, but there were far more figures than had been found in the village since before the girl was born. Most of them rushed, hunched through the scene, as though she could not imagine them any other way. Still, in nearly every shadowed jacket was a splash of color. In each smudged face a flower bloomed or a diamond of glass. Bits of glued-on crockery and metal decorated them as they hustled, gray and huddling through the dim plaster street, seemingly unaware of the prisms and paint chips without and within. It was her heartmost secret, a ritual of becoming. The quiet spell to bring the colors back to where she was sure they should be, her entire world a dry sponge ready to draw pigment into itself. She felt like a candle in her chest, the steady pulse of the wick drawing her onward. The girl walked to the wall and placed her hand on a scant blank spot, one of only a few remaining. She reached sightlessly back to a dented brass container, brimming with broken chalk and pastels. She closed her fingers unerringly around a stick of brightest, most leaf-like green, and pulled it forward to meet the wall. Soon, she would be ready. Thank you.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you, Bill. Any plugs, comments, promos? No? Okay, cool. Lots it's always great to hear your prose, the fiction as well. Thanks for reading. And let's see, let's keep this going. We got more peeps. Trying to see if more people have signed up. Okay, we're good. Okay, cool. So again, if you're tuning in, say hello in the chat. Let us know you're here. Let's see. Next up, we're gonna come back to EP. Our next performer, screaming in verse, we've got Lee Martinez Soto, aka MV Lee. All right, Lee, when you're ready, go ahead and take it away. Hey.
Hi. Okay, so I have back to how I used to format, like whenever I would read, I have something old, something new, something borrowed, and always blue over here. So we're gonna start with this one. Just recently in May 15 of this year, a trans person was killed in Ciudad Juárez, Chihuahua, which is the city that I'm from. And as if anybody is familiar with Ciudad Juárez, it's also one of the cities with the most number of femicides, sorry. So this poem, and I'm gonna keep reading it until it's not relevant anymore. It's called Si algún día no regreso. First in Spanish, then in English. Si algún día no regreso, no gastes tu tiempo buscando mi cuerpo. Te prometo no estaré esperando en él. Deja en paz tierra y escombros, tantos lotes baldíos, terrenos y ríos que pudieran ser las fosas de mis restos. Quizás solo encuentres cenizas derramadas entre muchas otras cuyos rostros y nombres ahora viven entre sollozos y afiches. Si algún día no regreso, guarda tu luto entre puños, raya, pinta, destruye y eleva altares sobre sus amados obeliscos. Derriba las puertas, rompe ventanas y hazlos tornar su mirada a los rostros de tus fantasmas. Ahoga tu llanto en el aliento iracundo de todas las madres, hermanas e hijas que gritan mi nombre y exigen justicia. Si algún día no regreso, corta cada dedo de cada mano de aquellos que con su maldad han hecho tanto daño. Cercena las lenguas de aquellos quienes en complicidad sus crímenes en silencio han guardado e ignore a calumnias, mentiras, justificaciones que tornan la culpa del criminal al mártir. Si algún día no regreso, no calles, no temas, pues vivo en la fuerza de tu lucha enardecida. If one day I don't return, don't waste your time looking for my body. I promise you, I won't be waiting there. Leave dirt and rubble untouched, the many vacant lots, lands, and rivers that could be the graves of my remains. You might only find ashes spread among many others whose faces and names they'll leave between howls and banners. If one day I don't return, keep your grief between your fists. Deface, paint, destroy, and raise altars over their beloved obelisks. Bring down their doors, break their windows, and make them turn their gaze to the faces of your ghost. Drown your whimpers in the wrathful cries of all the mothers, sisters, and daughters that scream out my name and demand justice. If one day I don't return, sever every single finger on every single hand of those who, with their evil, have caused so much pain. Rip out the tongues of those who have been complicit of keeping their crimes hidden in silence, and ignore the slander, lies, justifications of those who will turn blame from the criminal to the martyr. If one day I don't return, don't be silent, don't be afraid, for I will live in the strength of your fight. All right, then this one is a new one. This one I wrote it after I went for the first time to the Falstaff and I was walking with my spouse. He is on the chat on the YouTube, so I'm sorry, my love, but Jesus Christ. This is called Red Flags. Just a few days ago, me and my spouse walked down a dimly lit street, flanked by a few defunct businesses that had once upon a time contributed to the bustling economy of Alameda Avenue. In 1969, El Paso's once main street began losing traffic with the opening of the interstate. Boarded up windows and otherwise empty buildings comprised the majority of the stores in the area, with just a few of these locally owned shops still standing amidst the corpses of economic development. A healthcare agency, a chess institute, tax preparation services, a bakery, a Mexican food restaurant, a beauty salon, and an evangelical church. All a neighborhood could potentially need. In between the walls of the hair salon and church, two women and a man flanked a doorway to a drive-through convenience store. No signs, no store name, just one fluorescent light inside the narrow hallway of a store, and the guy's phone blasting Daddy Yankee as we walked by. My spouse strained his neck to sneak a peek, curious about the establishment. Now, I want to preface this by stating my spouse is not a cis man, but having been raised as one, with all the ridiculous constraints and expectations this carries, he saw no immediate danger in accepting the woman's invitation to check out the place. After all, they had beer. He followed the woman into the store. The guy waited for me to get inside, and he began trailing close behind me. Alarms blaring within me. I pulled at the sleeve of his jacket, but he was far too excited. 3 empty freezers, completely disconnected from any power source. 1 small fridge with a carton of eggs and a pack of bacon, and 2 smaller barrel coolers with assorted beers inside. Perhaps the store was just starting, maybe struggling, but my nerves were on edge, and the guy walking close behind me did nothing to ease them. He walked towards the drive-through part of the store where a black sedan sat, with its pilot and left passenger doors were wide open. He sat on the pilot's seat and started the ignition. My spouse browsed the barrel cooler, choosing between the beer and stock. Red flags everywhere, and he strolled right past them like they were green instead. If he were like me, I thought, he wouldn't survive a single day. I trailed close behind him, ready with all the precautions I had added to my repertoire over the years. Phone unlocked, my brother's phone ready to be dialed up, dominant hand free and curled into fists, back against the door, body as far away from the running car, as close to the exit as possible. Having been raised as a woman, with all the ridiculous constraints, fears, and expectations this carries, I saw all potential dangers the moment we stepped foot inside. His back turned to the 2 women while they called someone else to ask them about the cost of their products. He picked from the cans and bottles, making small talk with me as I stood in alert. Red flags everywhere, but he strolled right past them like they weren't there at all. If I were like him, I wondered, how freeing would it feel? Then this last one, let me actually, there we go. I couldn't find a hat, but I found a cap. So we'll do this. And surprise, David, this is actually, I'm gonna read a poem of yours from your book. If you haven't got their book in here. I did a translation in Spanish. I hope you like it. This is one of my favorite from your book. This is, I miss open mic nights, dear deities. First in English, the original, and then I'll do my translation. I miss open mic nights, the hallowed halls of some bar filled with broken souls, artists trying way too hard for my cool friends who want to leave as soon as they arrive. But here is a temple for the divinely profane, a place where we fuck up in words and play the wrong chords in a prayer to the others in the room. Dear deity, I forgot your name. You said it when you first walked in. Your poetry is so good. I wish I could write it like you. And also remember names. Dear deity, how do you remember the chords? I always have to have my sheet music, but I forget to bring a music stand for it. Dear deity, do you want the rest of my tacos? I'm kind of full. Dear deities, here's a poem. I hope it's good enough. Extraño las noches de micrófono abierto. Queridas deidades. Extraño las noches de micrófono abierto, los pasillos sagrados de algún bar repletos de almas rotas, artistas esforzándose demasiado por la atención de mis amigos chidos que quieren irse en cuanto llegan. Pero este es un templo para lo divinamente profano, un lugar en donde tropezamos con las palabras y tocamos los acordes equivocados en una plegaria para la audiencia. Querida deidad, se me ha olvidado tu nombre, me lo dijiste cuando llegaste. Tus poemas son tan buenos, desearía poder escribir como tú y también recordar nombres. Querida deidad, ¿cómo recuerdas los acordes? Yo siempre necesito de mi partitura, pero olvido traer un atril conmigo. Querida deidad, ¿quieres el resto de mis tacos? Creo que ya me llené. Queridas deidades, aquí les dejo un poema. Espero sea lo suficientemente bueno. Thank you.
That was super awesome. I missed the format. It's a classic, and it was just so fun to listen to all those things. And oh man, that poem there, just made me think of my own behaviors, how I just ignore all that shit. And I used to live in that block on that block for like a couple of years, so that's kind of funny. Uh I'm like, I know these things. Okay, so next up, we have someone who, at this point, has already been mentioned a few times. Let you promote your stuff, but we have Mr. Monday Night. It's time for Kit Ren. Who is that? Oh, I think I see his younger brother there on the screen. Hold on, let me. All right, when you're ready, go take it away.
Everyone's a real funny guy when you shave your beard. That's all right. That's awesome. Hi, everyone. Yes, I'm the same kid. I'm the same. Boy, now I'm completely thrown off. But yes, thanks to everyone who read before. Thanks to everyone who's coming after me. We are resuming short story theater with Sundown at the Eternal Staircase by Jenna Rose Nethercott. And I think I can finish it in 2 more weeks. But the sun dipped down early. Harebell's hair was violet riot. She had stolen a book on the history of leopard print and given it to June. June loved leopard print. Harebell hated leopard print. She hated a lot of things that June liked. Paul Simon, the word thistle, bananas, the banjo. But she didn't fully hate June, and June didn't hate the taste of brandy on Harebell's mouth as she leaned in and kissed her. Sweet and smoky, she hooked her tongue around Harebell's, and Harebell giggled into June's teeth. Beneath the liquor was something else, another flavor, a taste like earth, like clay, like something buried or unburied. Across the eternal staircase, the neon of the entry gate flickered. Watch your step. There's an urban legend people tell about the eternal staircase. They say a man once fell in love with one of the glossy steps. He visited the step every day. He brought flowers to the step, adorning it in roses and baby's breath and pink tulips. He scattered small offerings across the step, metal charms and chocolates and silk ribbons tied into plump bows. He would lay on the step for hours each afternoon, whispering to it. The keepers of the eternal staircase let him be. Maybe they had looser rules back then. Maybe they found the man charming. Maybe they wanted to know why this one step was any different from the endless others. It went on like this for a time, and all was well. But then one day the man arrived at the eternal staircase, only to find that during the night the groundskeepers had cleared away his flowers and talismans and gifts. The man couldn't tell which step was his step. They say the man wandered the eternal staircase for weeks, for months, searching for his step. They say he crawled the staircase on his hands and knees until they bled. He never found his love. Or if he did, he passed right over it without recognition. They all looked the same. We're trying to tell you that this has all happened before. You go up the stairs and go down the stairs. You pay $10 for a metal slinky and watch it somersault forever. You've been to the Grand Canyon, the White Sands National Monument, the Statue of Liberty. You've seen the world's largest pistachio at a truck stop in New Mexico. Here, you ask a stranger to take your picture sitting on the steps. The next day, driving down I-95, you reach into your jacket pocket for the blue tile you bought at the gift shop. Your reflection fumbles for space in the tiny square as you journey onward, away from the eternal staircase and the town that carries it, further towards something new. If you're wondering whether June's in love with Harebell, it's safe to say she's not in love with her. That is, she's bought at least 2 pairs of combat boots to impress Harebell. Those things aren't cheap, so you can draw your own conclusion. Once June had a dream that Harebell had a forked tongue. In the dream, they were making out until June realized that the left half of Harebell's tongue had gotten bored and ditched her for the arcade. June was so embarrassed that she started crying, and the tears were all little tongues wriggling down her cheeks like leeches. If quantity of tongues equals severity of love, then June might have a problem. Is Harebell in love with June? No. Harebell is only in love with herself. And the Ramones. And maybe the eternal staircase. Visitor, this is not the kind of story we would tell you if it were unimportant. Luckily, it contains numerous, incredibly important elements. 1, 2 girls kissing behind a hot dog stand. 2, an abyss. 3, a sketchy roadside attraction by the highway. 4, a decision that may not be a decision at all. Every one of these is important enough. Every one of these is important enough to merit us telling you. Imagine if we did not tell you about the Watch Your Step keychains. Where would you be then? Imagine if we failed to warn you that sometimes decisions are made for us, that sometimes staircases make our decisions for us, whether we want them to or not. Some people don't believe that eternal staircases exist. They think staircases were just dreamt up by authority figures, parents, cops, local politicians, to scare kids out of loitering after dark. But that's what we're here for, to assure you that eternal staircases are very real, as is pretty much everything else you've been warned about. 438, 439, 440. June stopped. She had never been any deeper than this, and she wasn't pushing it now. Something always stopped her here. She credited it to self-preservation instinct. Intellectually, she figured that whatever was farther down was just more of the same. More dark steps, jagged like a handsaw or a row of dog's teeth. But something in her body believed differently. A slight quickening of her pulse, a tightening in the stomach, her muscles saying no. Saying if you go farther, you might not come back. Saying here is an invisible line that must not be crossed. You coming, baby girl? Harebell trotted deeper into the well just ahead of June. She only looked back at June for a second before continuing. They'd been planning to do this forever. Sneak in and spend the night inside the staircase. No tourists, no creepy boss. Just June and Harebell in the canyon of steps, the stars. This is a good spot. June plopped down on the 440th stair. Her knees buzzed from the descent. The deeper they went, the more elastic the air became, the more her thoughts shuffled like playing cards. June pressed the heels of her palms into her eyes and tried to catch her breath. When she was a kid, ill with a fever, she called this sensation little big. Silence rattled too loud. Noise pinched to a muffle or clamped shut. Every object felt either impossibly minute or so leviathan it would devour her. Once, homesick from school, she became convinced that a loose thread on her pillow was multiplying so quickly it would bury the whole house. You all right, Junebug? I'm fine, June shivered. Let's sit down for a minute. Come here. Harebell slid down beside June and leaned back so her head lulled in June's lap. In the shifting twilight, her hair seemed to be every color at once. They shared a pair of earbuds and looked at the stars. Joni Mitchell sang about clouds. Above them, real clouds undulated with moonlight becoming wolves and sports cars. One looked like a bottle of hot sauce. One looked like June and Harebell, blended at the seams, so they melted into each other like slivers of wet soap. One cloud looked like an exit sign, blinking. June fell asleep. And we leave our young sapphic teenagers there for now. I think I should be able to wrap it up next week. It's Short Story Theater in honor of Short Story Month. And Tumblewords is taking the 24th off. Bill gave a great Memorial Day workshop this past Saturday, using a lot of memorials local to El Paso in his presentation. But we're taking actual Memorial Day weekend off, a little R&R, little recharging. But the 31st, Rachel Cachete, a great poet, one of my first friends when I started doing this regularly. They're going to take the reins rather, on the 31st, and their workshop is phenomenally titled. Let me look it up to make sure I get it right, because it's such a cool title. This is important. This is very, very important that I get this title right. Their workshop is called The Creation Myths of Criminals. So that's something we'll all be making more of on the 31st. Not this Saturday. Leave me alone this Saturday. Let me sleep. And let's see. So this week we got it's Rosewood tomorrow and Proof and Press Wednesday. And not this Thursday, but next Thursday, I'll be your MC at Old Sheepdog Brewery in Central under the shadow of the International Bridge. We all get down. We all have a great time. Gus is a great guy, a great owner, and this was our first regular show when like physical spaces opened back up about 4 years ago. And so I feel a bit of loyalty to the space, and I feel very proud of what we do there. And I think that is all the things that I have to plug for right now. But you know where to find me. I'm the guy in the hat. But we'll send it back to the other guy in the other hat, Richie, to continue the night.
Okay, thank you, Kit. We're gonna go ahead and keep this thing going. Next up, we have Sandy, also joining us from EP. A rare visit, but always a great one, and interesting get up, cool looking lighting and everything. So when you're ready, go ahead and take it away.
Yeah, can you hear me? Yes, okay. I'm gonna do screen share. Wait, you can hear me, right? Okay, let's see. There's that. All right. Can you hear me? Yes, no?
Yes.
Oh, sorry. I can never tell. Okay, this is the first one. kind of a new piece at Tumblewords after my AI workshop. This one's called Moon Citizen. Dear student on Earth, it is June 2325 and life on the moon has been good. Today I am in the hydroponic dome. We live underground under the moon's surface. Housing and tunnels are underground and similar to an ant's colony. Above are the solar domes that take light from the sun and power our energy. The light helps us sustain our hydroponic systems, which allows us to have plentiful, fresh food. Each moon citizen must learn about gardening on the moon. We take classes for weeks, and then after that, we take follow-up classes where we can also implement new ideas to improve our moon garden systems. I cherish my time above ground, where I too absorb the sun's rays, and like the plants, I become nourished. There are no seasons on the moon. I have no need for snow boots, rain boots, or an oversized winter coat. The entire dome colony is climate controlled, and we always have a constant, enjoyable 65 degrees, give or take. The water we extract from the ice glaciers from inside the moon help supply our water needs. Much of the used water can also be recycled. Today I tend to the hydroponic cherry tomatoes, so plump and delicious. Dear student from Earth, you will be happy to arrive on the moon soon, and you too can become a moon citizen. Okay. And my next poem is also a new one that I wrote at Lee Martinez workshop just recently at a Tumblewords workshop. And I made a little picture for it. So let's see.
Can you make
Can
it
you
a
hear?
little bit bigger?
I have it pretty large right now. Can you see it?
Barely see
Can
the
everybody see it? I have it full screen.
Yeah, it's there.
All right.
Just it's a little pixelated, but I mean that's what you're working with.
Okay. I scrub my sweaty, sticky balls in the shower. Nobody likes it when they're sticky. It's the year 2321 and showers are timed. In and out, scrub and wash. I put on my tech gear, insert my eyewear, camera, and phone. Retina calculates biometric analysis of my pupil. It blinks from red to green. Initiating identity. Identity confirmed. I strap on my knives and guns, cover them with my tech gear jacket, press the buttons on the wall, and drink the gunk concoction. Run some blue-purple gel through my hair and head out to the streets. I need to be at my post at 1900 just before sunset. Gotta make it on time, or my boss will start a shit show and humiliate me in front of the guys again. The concrete jungle is a dangerous place. Gotta pass all the thugs and mutants who want my organs. Mutants always salivate when I pass by. High price for a set of kidneys and a fresh, clean liver. Human parts for mutants get shipped out to other planets. I keep my hand on my gun, walking these crazy streets, 'cause it's my organs they want. Okay, and that's my two poems. And you can check out my Instagram. It's Sandy Candylands. And that's it.
All right, cool. Thanks for joining us. Cool giant earrings there too. What's the left ear say? OMG, and what's the other one?
WTF.
Oh, WTF. Okay, it was flipped around when okay, cool.
I paint them. Yeah, I painted them so they glow.
Nice. Cool setup. Well, thanks for reading and Yeah. Did you link your link your website for those? So some people did have trouble seeing it. It's fine. It's the internet, you know.
Really? It was small? I'm surprised. It
No,
was
no,
large
no, no,
over
no,
here.
no. It's not that. It just sometimes the screen doesn't. The resolution is not the best for everyone. It's fine. It's
Oh,
but what I'm saying is if you share the link a link to the website, people can check it out in their own
sure.
time.
Okay.
Okay,
Awesome.
so let's go ahead and keep this going. We're gonna go to Phoenix, Arizona for some musical noises from gym leader Ellie. Waiting so patiently there with the cool new backdrop too. When you're ready, Ellie, go ahead and take it away. Hey.
What up, Richie? Thanks for having me again. Okay, so I am hosting my own virtual open mic night on Thursdays. I'm going to send the link for that. And this Thursday, I'm hosting a show where for the last couple weeks, I've been telling my folks to write a song with prompts. So the prompt was moving the mountain. And I've got an idea for a song for this that hasn't quite happened yet. But the other day, I sat down and was thinking about it, and I guess y'all were influential because I wrote a poem. So here we go. I'm going to start by reading actually a poem. It's as of yet untitled. I'm going to say swear words. Get ready. All right. I was working on moving the mountain when the mountain said to me, "Hey, buddy, the fuck are you doing? Get off of my damn property." I wasn't expecting a fight then. I wasn't expecting to see a whole fucking mountain rear up and spew curses and slander at me. But I had a contract for business which ordained that that mountain should move so we could pick up all the goodies inside and build a new road for the war tanks to ride. So I displayed the mountain my finger while lighting the dynamite up. The mountain glared at me in anger a moment before his top blew off. Stunned by his shortened new hairdo and lobotomy without consent, the mountain erupted in fury, revealing itself volcanic. He turned his gaze down to the village, then let out a moan and a sigh before saying, "I don't want to do this, but I'll show you an eye for an eye." Now I, liking my eyes, was irate. I placed some more dynamite down. I blew a big hole in the mountainside on the far side, away from the town. The lava that poured was a bloodbath. The mountain was obviously dead, but I wanted to be pretty certain, so I aimed javelins at its head. Its cap had been flattened before long. The coal held inside was revealed. I went for my electric shovel when I learned I'd been followed down here. For a mountain lion jumped from the dozer and stared at me, licking her lips. My cubs will go hungry without all the goats we'd hunt near the mountain's tip. So, strip mining man, I'll assault you and pepper and lemon you too, and feed you to my baby creatures for all of the evil you do. I couldn't escape from her big mouth. I couldn't pull open her jaws. But she found it easy to open my chest, and from it, she procured my heart. It beat a few times while I watched it, until my aorta was snapped. I'd say she made quite a clean kill there, but it was sort of messy, in fact. There you go. That's my poem about moving the mountain.
That's fantastic.
Thanks. And I will close with a song that I wrote. This is going to be on my next album we're working on called Ice Type. This song is called Sheer Cold. It is named after a Pokemon attack, Sheer Cold. It has a 30% chance to hit, but if it hits, you die. So I hope it hits. place to be for a bird. -50 degrees. We're both gonna freeze, but you still won't cuddle for warmth. Sheer cold takes hold. Much have I suffered and seen, but you had a peek before I was born. Time traveler, time entropy. I'd like to leave this cold back to when all was molten. Sheer cold takes hold. You've shown me winter's harshness. Still, I can't believe you're heartless. Let me in. For stories under the seas, a strange place to be for a bird. Sheer cold takes hold. Thanks for listening, y'all. Come hang out on my open mic night and buy my records so I can eat more salad. Thanks.
All right. Thank you, Ellie. Appreciate it. Thanks for stopping by. And any links will help too, I think.
Yeah, in the invite I just sent you, there's my link tree at the bottom. You can find all my stuff there.
All right. Perfect. Thank you so much. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks again for having me, Richie.
Always fun. Good work. We are gonna go from Arizona to New Orleans, and we have our first time reader here, who is a poet and author, a couple collections. So without further ado, thanks for your patience too, by the way. Sam Hardy, welcome to our program. Hey.
Thanks a lot. I appreciate it. The first two poems I have to read have to do with sexual assault, so I wanted to give you that content warning there. First one is called Who Am I? I'm a rape survivor. I'm a writer. I'm a poet. I'm a thinker. I'm a 60-minute shower. I'm a teacher. I'm a lesbian. I'm a geek. I'm a child inside. I'm a rape survivor. I'm a warrior. I'm a person who hates Trump. I'm a Scot-Irish lass. I'm a gardener. I'm a believer. I'm a music lover. I'm a foodie. I'm a stanza translated into Turkish. I'm a Democrat. I'm a 4 a.m. Facebook scroller. I'm a warrior. I am a woman. I am a rape survivor. I'm a great kisser. I'm a cautionary tale. I'm a gut punch. I'm a walking tragedy. I'm a Muslim lover. I'm a person who loves hard. I'm a bad back on a cold day. I am a hopeless romantic. I am strong wind to a new hairdo. I'm a claustrophobic person on the subway. I'm a rape survivor. I'm a missed deadline. I'm a bar stool occupant. I'm a phantom leg on an amputee. I'm a submission rejection email. I'm not a villain. I'm not a planner. I'm not a budgeter. I'm not a spendthrifty. I'm not always likable. I'm not a quitter. I'm not a status quo. I'm not a quid pro quo. I'm not a hater. I'm not anyone's lover. I am an emo. I'm an emo. I'm an unread Bible. I'm an advocate. I'm an action figure collector. I'm an old person. I'm unfiltered. I'm waiting for love. I'm pining for her. I'm 12 daily pills. I'm one shot of Ozempic a week. I'm boldly spoken. I'm badly damaged knees. I'm sometimes cranky. I'm easily annoyed. I am salsa on your vagina. I am survivor's guilt. I am like a creaky door. I am like a broken window in the rain. I'm like a paper cut. I'm like burnt bread. I'm like a misquoted line. I'm trying to win her back. I'm failing miserably. I'm not giving up. I'm a radio playing while driving. I am weary. God, help me. I'm growing older every day. I am the kid who never got called on by the teacher. I'm the one who is always late. I'm easily overlooked. I'm never Mother's Day, so shut up about it. I'm easily bored. I am a rape survivor. Second one is called Something Happened. I know something happened to him. Somewhere out there, someone fitted him with his first wife beater shirt and bought him cigarettes, feeding him lies about how he was Superman. Someone big and strong came along, built his ego up so very high and so tall that it was too big for anyone to handle. Someone who told him lies and made him think he was irresistible, that he was the man, and no one dared refuse him. They amputated his sense of decency, his empathy for all others. But I don't care. I can't care about his problems. Only what he did to me made me grow up thinking all men were animals, scared to be myself, not being really sure who that was anyway. A little girl who thought it was okay to be a whore. So, yeah, he was ruined by someone, but I simply just do not care. And the next one is called Ode to an Artist. And I'll tell you, I don't know where it came from, but one day I found somebody online named Nancy Elizabeth Prophet. She was an American sculptor and artist, and she was of African American and Native American descent. And she became the first woman to graduate from Rhode Island University of Design in 1918. She couldn't sell anything here, probably because of her heritage. She couldn't sell anything in America, so she went to Paris. And while she was in Paris, she faced starvation, just pursuing her artistic endeavors, trying to sculpt. So this poem is inspired in for her. What will one do for their art when it pulls them by the heart? When every cell of your body is on fire and every strand of your hair vibrates with desire? To weave, to write, to sculpt, to compose. Does the beauty come from the mind? Is it within each artist, or does it just appear and disappear like smoke? My throat is dry, my belly aches from hunger. I cannot sleep, so I remain woke. I eat at the ash of my desire to create, to paint a picture with my words, that I cannot guarantee will ever be heard. I claw at the dryness at my throat. The ashes of my mouth long for the river of my mind, of my pen, stanzas of images, of creations within. My last vestibule of thoughts, of a crescendo of wet clay upon a marble table, of dreams turned into fables, to stay on the page, on the canvas, in the lyrics forever. I did this. I wrote, drew, sculpted, composed with ribs showing and eyes sunken, but no matter, because I know that as long as words flow, as long as children dance and the wind blows, someone will create. Someone will create. Last one. I wrote this for my ex. It's called I Wrote Her. I wrote her. Happy words, loving words, jump on this carousel with me. No reply. Another try. I wrote her. Invitations, affirmations. Please love me. No reply. She broke me. One more day, I wrote her, still trying to give her the world. No reply. I'm crushed. My heart lies in ruins. I wrote her again, ink pleading. No reply. My inks run dry. My heart is full, yet broken in pieces. She doesn't see me. I wrote her one final time. No reply. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us. Really quick, since this is your first time here, how can people follow and support your work online if they'd like to do so?
I'll put links in the chat.
Links in the
That's
chat.
okay.
Perfect. That's perfectly fine. Awesome. Thanks for joining us and thanks
Okay,
for your
cool.
pieces. Awesome,
Thanks.
awesome. Sam Hardy, everyone. Thanks. And if you don't mind, I can also forward those on YouTube. If people are watching, they can check it out there as well. Really quick,
Sounds
for those
good.
of you, yeah, let's do that. For those of you watching right now on the YouTube live stream, if you do live in the El Paso region, we do have a couple of events this week that you can hit up. Tuesday, we will be downtown at Rosewood for our Verse and Harmony open mic. Come through, hang out with us, hang out downtown El Paso. Sign up starts at 8 p.m. That is for Verse and Harmony, so that's music and poetry or prose, that is as well. And then Wednesday is our writers' night at Proof and Press. Come on through. Writing workshop starts at 7, around 7-ish. We try and wait for people to kind of get in because it's a little earlier than our other spots. And we go until about 9, where we start to sign up for an open mic. So if you guys want to read your work in person or meet some of these peeps, fine peeps that I've been reading today, then come on through. The nights have been pretty fun. I've enjoyed the heck out of them. All right, so we're going to go ahead and go to Washington, D.C. up next for a regular who's always kind of on the docket with some jokes and some poems. I already see you there, Ed, Mr. Fantastic. When you're ready, go and take it away, man.
Thank you, my bro, like no other, with words like thunder. Hello, my name is Ed Potato, and for the Fantastic, please time to control my rhyme, thoughtful, sublime. I got 15 jokes, 3 poems, so it'll take too much time. The first joke is, why are shopping centers boring?
Why?
Because if you see one, you see them all. Did you hear about the girl who ate a frog?
No, what happened to her?
They said she's going to croak.
Oh no.
Here's a funny story. Bacon and eggs walked into a restaurant. Guess what the host said?
What did he say?
Sorry, we don't serve breakfast here.
I'm sorry, I'm still thinking about that poor girl.
Did you hear about the musician who was driving down the street?
I didn't.
He turned to a parking lot. Why didn't the chef season his dish?
Why not?
He ran out of time.
Oh. Rookie mistake.
What do you call an angry musician flipping someone off?
What do you call that?
A songbird. How can you tell it's a dogwood tree?
How can you tell?
By the bark.
Excellent.
Why is Peter Pan always flying?
I don't know. What the hell is this deal?
Because he never lands.
Oh.
What's the name of a very polite European body of water?
I don't know. What is that name?
Mercy.
Oh.
Why did the cow pack up his bags and move to Hollywood?
Why did the cow do that?
To be in the movies. Why did the guy get fired from the calendar factory?
I don't know. What happened?
He took a day off.
No union. That's what happens.
What do you call someone who raises hens?
I don't know. What do you call that?
A chicken tender. Why don't astronauts like gravity?
I didn't know it was that personal. Why don't astronauts like gravity?
It brings them down. And last but not least, where do rainbows go after being arrested?
Oh no. Where do rainbows go after they're arrested?
Prism. Thank you.
I got nothing to say to that.
Thank you, Kid. You were always a hit. Thank you so very much. And I hope everyone enjoyed those jokes for you folks. I got 3 short poems. These poems come from the 30 to 30 Poetry Challenge. So the first one is Fret Fingernails. Here it goes. The threat of the problems. Problems never solve them. Clawing beneath my skin, marked skin without end. My words hug me tight, tight with all its might. Anxiety took my sight. Sight robbed me of sunlight. Bound in the darkness, darkness of the abyss. Wishing it was a dream, dreams of a million screams. Anxiety pressing my chest without any rest. I stare into the fear draws near. It started mocking me covered in bees. The buzz in my ears crying endless tears. I just wanted to end. The end won't be my friend. The torment wrecking havoc of making me sick. Someone reach out their hand disappears in the sand. You have the golden key, the key to being free. Can you stare and see? See, you are the travesty. Worrying won't help at all. All you have to do is break the walls. Stop being completely helpless. You aren't helpless in the mist. You're breathing and alive. Don't stay alive in a beehive. Don't stay worried, but do something. Something is better than doing nothing. Thank you. And my other poem is loud. Here it is. Sorry for that. The lion inside my chest. Is it stress? I can take a guess. The echoes are vibrating as fireworks. The lion lurks with a wild smirk. I know, shout, let it all out. These are the things we could do without. You remind me of my lioness. It was bliss in a noisy abyss. She roared with sorrow and love, while I stare into the sun above. Why does she act the way she do? Why do I feel blue trapped in a zoo? I rock my mad lion to sleep. I nestle deep without a peep. My snakes hiss the way they do. I bear with it because I loved you. I do what I could to get by. Freedom is sweeter than pie, that's no lie. The lion roars with ferocity. I tame it with responsibility and maturity. Don't cage your raging lion. You only suffer inner oblivion. You have a choice to use your voice. Please reinforce for personal noise. You don't have time to be a mime. It's a big crime to mute your chime. People sacrifice words with more to gain. Don't make voices be in vain down the drain. Your words can support and break through. No booze. It's really true if only you knew. Please release your inner hurricane. Don't be punished by pain, drenched in your rain. Thank you. And last but not least, this is called this is called Note Card of the Alleyway. Sorry about that. Yeah, but I have to look for it.
You have too many poems now. Where's the book? Where's the book?
The book is coming. The book is coming. Sorry about that. Where is it? I was just reading it. So many notes. I'm sorry, here it is. Thank you, Richie. Thank you, Kit. You always a smashing hit. My sweet alley cat, where have you gone? I'm nestled in the black. What did I do wrong? Your pure was music. Your hair was velvet. Your collar was strict. Your warmth was my helmet. Here, kitty, kitty. You walk with strife. You were so pretty. You were quite bright. You were so witty. Where are you now? I have bottles of milk. Your bright eyes glow. Your tongue was silk. I wait in the alley. Keep my spirits high. I miss you badly. I'm here on standby. The shadows are with me. I drink a cold beer. I'm a drunken tree. I'm missing gears. I fiddle with a bottle. I wanted to be you. My mind had a wobble. I'm the color of blue. Here, my sweet cat. I still wait for you. I'm hanging like a bat. What am I going to do? Here, kitty. I'll wait here. The bottles are my company. Please come back, my dear. The agony of sweet ebony. Thank you.
Sweet. Thank you, Ed. Really quick for the newbies, for the new peeps, how can they follow and support you online?
Well, you can follow me and support me online. Welcome to this wonderful, stupendous open mic that makes our mind like such a delight in the wonderful, fantastic spotlight. All right, but if you want to follow me, please feel free. My Facebook is 80 Foreman and my IG is 8492. And always remember, if the mic is right, I'll be there to sound fantastic insight. If you send me a quest, if you take a guess, the answer is yes. Hope everyone stays safe, healthy, and blessed. Never stop spewing the wonderful words inside your chest. Never stop feeling and being and doing your best. And always remember that you're more important than you ever know. Don't stop your flow and never ever stop your glow. If you don't know, now you know. I love this show.
Awesome. And we love you, Ed. Appreciate it.
Love you too.
I'm gonna find a way to put all of that on a t-shirt, okay? I'm gonna go and transcribe it, put it all on a t-shirt, okay? One of these days. I'll send you one too, okay? That'd be fun. That'd be fun. Okay. All right. My understanding that it's a special birthday coming up, and our next reader is going to share some poetry who it just happens to be their birthday. So Cassie, when you are ready, I will hand over the mic to you. What's up, Cassie? Happy birthday.
Hi, thank you. Doing the wild thing of actually going on video for a change. Hi, everyone. Okay, so see if I can keep a half decent angle while reading because I've been doing this on my phone. I've never done it before. All right. Okay. So This first piece is called In Our House, after Ada Limon. In our house, the morning air is brimming with poetry, softly careening from loudspeakers from the early 2000s for the sake of nostalgia. In every corner of the house, beauty drifting, mixing with remnants of jasmine tea, wafting up and over the edge of the second floor balcony and floating through the hallway, touching words like river and release, softly slipping like a summer breeze under bedroom doorways, gently greeting late risers. In our house, we are wired for maybe, agnostic not in the absence of our belief, but in the space for possibility, room for answers that we cannot see or touch. In our house, we are cautioned that when you close the door on what you know, new truths can't make it in. We trust in our unknowing, in the quiet beauty of mystery, of the maybes tucked deep inside uncertainty. Okay, I have another piece of mine here, which I've read here before, but it's been a while. This is called The Answer is Wonderment. I wore myself out trying to crack the code, to unlock pure happiness, but instead I was only called upon to answer why. I scoured the earth to uncover life's meaning and was only called upon to answer, what if there were no mysteries left? Where would you place your wonderment? What would spark the dopamine to flow? What would you chase, flee? See, when I was a kid, I didn't realize the future laid a curious option, full of air and light, that there are mysteries I could best leave unsolved in favor of chasing wonderment and letting meaning flutter and flit before me and dissipate into the ether, into the dark of a still night. Okay, and then I have a couple cover poems here. They're all it's kind of a through line here that I tried to go for. This is called In Praise of Mystery, a poem for Europa by Ada Limon. Arching under the night sky, inky with black expansiveness, we point to the planets we know. We pick quick wishes on stars. From Earth, we read the sky as if it is an unerring book of the universe, expert and evident. Still, there are mysteries below our sky, the whale song, the songbird singing its call into the bow of a wind-shaken tree. We are creatures of constant awe, curious at beauty, at leaf and blossom, at grief and pleasure, sun and shadow. And it is not darkness that unites us, not the cold distance of space, but the offering of water, each drop of rain, each rivet, each pulse, each vein. O second moon, we too are made of water, of vast and beckoning seas. We too are made of wonders, of great and ordinary loves, of small invisible worlds, of a need to call out through the dark. And just have one more piece here, cover poem. And this is called Counting This New Year's Morning, What Powers Remain to Me by Jane Hirschfield. The world asks as it asks daily, and what can you make? Can you do to change my deep broken fractured? I count this first day of the year what remains. I have a mountain, kitchen, 2 hands, can admire with 2 eyes the mountain, actual receltrient shuffling its pebbles, sheltering foxes and beetles, can make black-eyed peas and collards, can make from last year's late ripening persimmons a pudding, can climb a stepladder, change the bulb in a track light. For 4 years, I woke each day first to the mountain, then to a question. The feet of the new sufferings followed the feet of the old, and still they surprised. I bought salt, bought oil. Sorry, I brought salt, brought oil to the question, brought sweet tea, brought postcards and stamps. For 4 years each day, something. Stone did not become apple. War did not become peace. Yet joy still stays joy. Sequins stay sequins. Words still bespangle, bewilder. Today I awoke without answer. The day answers, unpockets a thought from a friend. Don't despair of this falling world. Not yet. Didn't it give you the asking? All right, so that's what I have for poetry. It's very weird to be witnessed. If you are curious to occasionally see more of my work, I do infrequently share my poetry on Instagram. If you're on Instagram at Relentless Intrigue, and I also have Substack. I believe it's also Relentless Intrigue. I haven't been utilizing it, but someday I'll get there. Okay, thank you, Richie. Thank you, everyone.
Richie.
Okay. That was quick.
Richie.
Yeah, what's up?
If you pin Cassie and me, she can blow out her candle.
Oh, I don't know if she wants to go back on camera again, but here, Cassie, go ahead and blow out the candle. Well,
All right, sure, why
there it is.
not?
Oh, hold on. Okay, hold on. There you go. Ready?
All right. Okay. All right. Thanks, Jordan.
Perfect. Yeah, I'm not gonna sing, but maybe in the after party. Oh, I just made a big promise. Okay. So thank you, Storm. That was really nice. Wish Cassie happy birthday, Relentless Intrigue. Okay, so I think that brings us to the end of our list. Dan, are you ready? Or do you need me to stall? Because I have a whole
let's get this over with.
dang it. I was kind of hoping to stall, you know what I'm saying? Okay, no.
Sorry.
I'll finish after you're done. So without further ado, the
Yeah, I'm
closer.
ready.
What?
I'm
Yeah.
ready.
Okay, when you're ready, let's go ahead. Dan, take it away.
Okay, how's everybody doing tonight? Yep. I wanted for Thunderstruck or Star Luck with all the tow truck and the woodchuck. How many woodchuck did the woodchuck chuck did the woodchuck chuck the wood stuck in the puck and then bottle the muck and all this in who wants a Donald Duck? Yeah, we're bleep out of luck. Yeah, what are you looking at, you hockey puck? Oh well. Well, all this construction on the I-10, what a bit of destruction. As you know, instruction, there's obstruction, and there's a reproduction. And yeah, so where's my introduction? Yeah. Okay, and you think you're lucky? Well, they say it might be you say they might be unlucky. Well, you see, there's a rubber ducky and a happy-go-lucky in the state of Kentucky. Yeah. So, yeah. So boss up your knuckles. So buckle up. Uh, looks like we're on a swashbuckle for a honeysuckle. Okay. Okay. Here it is. All right. Happy birthday, Cassie, and I hope to see you guys once again. Hey, Richie, if I don't see you next Tuesday, if I don't see you this coming Tuesday, let's see if I'll try to swing by Wednesday right after I finish State Line. So, all right, guys, with all the light and there's no fight, with plenty of the poetry in sight. All right, Richie, let's go ahead and call it a night.
Well, if I went outside, it might be day. Let's find out. Okay, no. But I'm actually going to finish with a couple of poems. Might as well read. Thanks to everyone who has stuck around. Appreciate you guys. Again, you can follow us, find us in person this week, every Tuesday, downtown El Paso. Wednesday, we have Proven Press. And then the Wednesday after, we have the Storycraft one. These are a couple of my Poetry Month 30 for 30 pieces that maybe I haven't read as much. This one's called Meditation number 33. In the desert, you can see the storm for starting over. In the desert, you can see the storm for miles across the plains, with the heavy blessing of rain disguised as darkness. Thunder breaks the heat wide open, rattling the earth's spare ribs, shaking loose the ancient dust of dreams we forgot we dreamed. Lightning flashes and crashes along ink-blotted sky. The desert grins in ocotillo and barrel cactus, leans back and drinks it all in like raw fire in a cracked cup. Pain can be a river if you write it right and let it sing you somewhere new. Okay, there's that one. All right, here's another one. Double flame inertia. We burn wild and defiant through sleepless skies, flickering luminance, smudged and glimmering across twin oblivions, simply for the sake of those who need a little bit more light along the way. We keep the night alive. We lean into one another's flames. Here's another one. A cipher siphoned through serif and semias. These dots and lines and squiggles reverberate, supreme and subatomic as ripples on a pond. Transcribed through tongue and transformed via breath, bent into our truths and stretched out to sing our scars. All right, last one. This one's called Axe, after Franz Kafka. It didn't break loud, just a whisper under my ribs. Ice shifting like it had a secret, like something was waking in the dark. What came up had no name, just breath and hunger and heat. A truth too wild to bury, standing there, dripping, alive. Okay, those are some of my shorter 30 for 30 pieces. I'm gonna find a way to like expand or stitch together thematic ones and hopefully have a couple more stage ready pieces. But thanks for everyone, as always, for joining us on our Monday night online mic, everyone who performed and everyone who just tuned in to check us out. I know it's Mondays. If you watch live, thank you so much. But if you're watching this at any point during the week, the replay, we always appreciate that. Since you don't get to be part of the live chat, though, let us know. I have so many people who tell me like, "Oh yeah, I listen to it later during the week while I'm driving to work or while I'm vacuuming or doing chores or something." So leave a comment. Let us know if you tuned in, because that's always really good feedback from everyone. Anyway, follow us BWOMS.com, social media. My name is Rich, Deadwall Reveries on Instagram, and hopefully we'll see you guys out at one of these events or next Monday online for the online mic. My name is Rich. Peace. Have a good night. Have a great week, guys.